Welcome to news around and concerning the Igbo people. Tighten your seatbelt, Ose Tigokwano. Story 1. Abia inheritance drama. When culture meets the law. So let's start from Abia State. 2 young girls, both parents dead, only house their father built. Some relatives said, because you are female, pack your load and go. Imagine that logic. Their crime is that they were born women.
Facebook, you people should help me and my sister. Facebook, please. Governor, let's out here. We are from Abia State. Please help me and my sister. We are homeless, so they want to render us homeless. Me and my sister, we are orphans because we are girl child. They have money. They want to pursue us out of our father's house. Governor, let's out here. Look at him. He said he has money. He said he has money. Oh, please help us. Oh, Governor, let's out here, please. Oh, help me and my sister. Oh, we are homeless. Oh, look at my mother's grave. Oh, look at my mother's grave. Oh, Governor, let's out here. Woman affairs in Abia State. Oh, look at my father's grave. Oh, they said because we are gay children. Oh, because we are gay children, they said they want to pursue us out of our father's house. Please help us. Oh, please make it go viral. Oh, because we are girl child. Oh, they said we don't have any place in my father's house. Look at my younger sister. This is my younger sister because our parents are dead. They want to pursue us out of our father's house. Please, Governor, let's out here. Please help us.
When we now try to confront them, that was when my cousin was now telling me and my sister that as girl children that we don't have any rights in my father's house. So this morning, I have been very busy. People have been calling me, messages have been coming from my constituency, House of Assembly, all the lawyers in my community. They have been calling me, giving me assurance that something will be done in this matter. Thank you so much, guys, for making that video to go viral. Me and my sister, we appreciate all the help that you guys gave us yesterday. And we promise to keep you updated. So they called us this morning for a peace talk. We went there. The guy was saying that his own is that we should put that video down. That video is tarnishing his image. It's embarrassing. That we say a witchcraft act. That we are wicked. That we went to our mother's grave. We were crying. That if anything to happen to us tomorrow, that they will now come and say he's the one. I said, if anything happened to me and my sister tomorrow, he will be held responsible because of the things that came out of his mouth yesterday.
But this time, the old script failed. Yes, so the old script failed. They plan to evict them collapse like a badly built mud house. Unaja. And why? Because sunlight entered the matter. Human rights groups shouted. Social media talked. And finally, a lawmaker stepped in and said, stop this nonsense. Let me say this slowly. In 2025, in Abia State, where the law clearly says women can inherit property, some people still think tradition is stronger than the constitution. They forget one thing. Tradition that kills children is not culture. It is cruelty. This story ended well, yes, but how many did not end well? How many girls were chased away quietly with nobody filming? With no social media to go to. Even some went to social media, but they couldn't still have it. This is not just an Abia State story. It is an Igbo story. It is a Nigerian story. Now let us move to Imo State. Christmas Eve. While some people were preparing chicken, rice, and prayers, gunmen were preparing bullets. A Catholic priest was shot. Not during robbery, not during war, on Christmas Eve. But he survived, thank God though. Thank God for using his angel to save him. But let us ask the uncomfortable question. What kind of country shoots priests during Christmas? Churches are no longer safe. Mosques are not safe. Roads are not safe. Homes are not safe. And every time this happens, we hear the same sentence. Police are investigating. Investigating what, Okwana? The bullets have already spoken. This is not about religion. It is about total breakdown of security. When a priest is shot on Christmas Eve, that That is a message to everyone. No one is special anymore. No one. No. On Abba anywhere. Moving on to story 3. UNN vs. Chimamanda Adichie. Appointment without agreement. Now, let's go to Nsukka. This one, Nsukka story. University of Nigeria, Nsukka, announced proudly, we have appointed Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie as visiting professor. Claps everywhere. Everybody was happy. Then Chimamanda said, please, I know nothing about the appointment. Here. UNN said, we appointed her. And she said, I did not accept. UNN said, acceptance is another matter. So now, appointments are given without consent. Is that so? It's like proposing marriage and announcing wedding date before the woman says yes. Is that so? This issue is not about Chimamanda alone. It exposes a bigger Nigerian problem. Announcement before agreement. You see, we like prestige more than process. Instead of quietly agreeing with the person, we rush to headline. You think it will just work. Let's announce she's a visiting professor. She will accept it. Everything has process. Nsukka, UNN, or Guinea. So they rush to headline. Now UNN is embarrassed. Chimamanda is dragged into unnecessary controversy. Everybody is defending ego. A simple phone call could have saved all of this. They could have called her, Chimamanda, are you willing to accept this appointment? This and that. If she says no, you look for somebody else. But you announce her ahead. You arrange her marriage. Before she is even aware of it, you arrange marriage for her. Paid her bride price before now telling her, hey, we want to marry you. Mbano. Next time, make una wise. This is a disgrace to you now. And she's saying no, and you're still there saying we appointed her by force. Moving on to story 4. Ebonyi teaching hospital versus electricity madness. If you say you never seen NEPA wahala, you never start. Now, Ebonyi State. We are going to Ebonyi State. In fact, we just drove into Ebonyi State. A federal teaching hospital cried out. Their electricity bill jumped to over 100 million naira in 1 month. A hospital where babies are in incubators, where oxygen machines run 24 hours, where power failure can kill, and they are being built like as if they are running a cement factory. Is that a cement factory or a hospital? I think that bill might be for a cement factory around the place. How, Kwano? Estimated billing, 100 million, NEPA. There are other ways to make money. You mustn't force people now. NEPA was more time when I go carry gun. Estimated billing. Unmetered transformers, same old story. Same old Nigerian story. This is the kind of bill that does not threaten comfort. It threatens life. When you hear this, you cannot sleep. When hospitals start choosing between electricity and medicines, we are already in danger. Health institutions should not be fighting electricity companies. They should be saving lives. But this is where they are pushed to. How do you go? NEPA will just come and dash you any bill because you are this, you are that. They believe you must pay. Because at the end, you get back. They believe solar is costly, using generator is costly. And how many times do you even supply the electricity? We will not tolerate this in Igbo. You can do it elsewhere, but in Igbo, we will not tolerate it. Warning. When you see NEPA, warning. Enugu deck, Abi Enugu. Now let's get to story 5. Now let's get to Sokoto. Some people will be surprised. But this channel discusses Igbo people and Igbo land. So it still has to do with the Igbo. The Igbo community there went to prison on Christmas Day. They ate with inmates. They shared food. They showed humanity. They also spent Christmas with Nnamdi Kanu and other prisoners. Over 1,000 inmates benefited. This story confused many people. Some said it was political. Some said it was ethnic. But let us be honest. Whether it is political or ethnic, you chop rice. The rice digests well. It no kill you. Anyway, What I see it as pure human compassion. They did not break the prison. They did not insult anybody. They fed hungry people. Whether you support Kanu or not, feeding prisoners on Christmas is not a crime. In fact, it is what Christianity teaches. Love people even when the society has locked them away. Now, moving on to story 6, Soludo's son clears hospital bill. Tears instead of politics. Finally, Anambra State, and maybe we will round up after that. The governor's son went around hospitals, not with sirens, not with cameras shouting. He paid hospital bills. People cried. Some patients were detained because they could not pay. But bills were cleared this time around, and transport money added. Let me say this clearly. This is not governance. This is personal kindness. But it also exposes a painful truth. Too many Nigerians are trapped in hospitals, not because they are sick, but because they are poor. They don't have money to pay. If charity is solving what policy should solve, then the system is sick. Still, kindness matters. And in this case, it touched lives. Let's react to the story and we'll be out of here. Looking at all these stories together, one thing is clear. Nigeria is surviving on individual intervention, not systems. A lawmaker saved orphans, not institutions. It is institutions that should have saved them, but a lawmaker went. A priest survived gunshots, not security planning. A university embarrassed itself over ego. A hospital is begging for mercy from electricity. Patients smiled because one young man paid bills. This country is breathing through personal goodwill, not governance. Governance is not seen in this country, but personal goodwill. And this is dangerous because goodwill can rest. Law should not. If you're watching this, speak up when injustice hides behind culture. Demand real security, not statements. Hold institutions accountable, not just individuals. Support content that speaks truth, not noise. Share the stories. Silence protects oppression. And please don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to IGBO AREA TV. Comment your own view and tell us which story touched you the most and why. Because until we talk, nothing changes. Thanks for watching. Azuka OJ.